Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating story of the Boeing B-47 Stratojet, a bomber that revolutionized air combat, laid the foundation for modern jet bombers, and played a crucial role during the Cold War. Known as the Mother Jet, the B-47 introduced innovations that shaped the future of strategic bombers, leading to the development of legendary aircraft like the B-52 Stratofortress, and even influencing commercial aviation. The story of the B-47 begins in the early 1940s when the U.S. Army Air Forces sought a long-range, high-speed bomber to replace World War II-era bombers like the B-29 Superfortress. At that time, jet propulsion was still a new technology, and most bombers relied on piston engines. The rapid advancements in aviation technology during and after World War II set the stage for the next evolution in military aircraft. One of the leading manufacturers of military aircraft initially proposed a straight-wing design for a new long-range bomber resembling the B-29. However, as they began to explore new possibilities, they received top-secret German aerodynamic research after World War II. This research, which included breakthroughs on the swept-wing concept, proved to be a game-changer. German engineers had developed the idea that a swept-wing design could drastically reduce drag at high speeds, allowing aircraft to fly faster and more efficiently than conventional straight-wing designs. This discovery marked a pivotal moment in the development of the B-47. The decision to implement swept wings altered the design trajectory and ultimately made the B-47 one of the most advanced aircraft of its time. In 1947, Boeing unveiled the first prototype, the XB-47, which featured a sleek, futuristic design with 6 jet engines, a thin swept wing, and advanced aerodynamics. It was unlike anything the world had seen before and would go on to set new standards for jet bombers, influencing the design of subsequent aircraft for years to come. The B-47 Stratojet was the first strategic jet bomber to be produced in large numbers and featured revolutionary design elements that influenced both military and commercial aviation. Its unique characteristics made it a highly effective weapon of war during the Cold War era and also set the stage for future aircraft developments. One of the most distinctive features of the B-47 was its 35-degree swept wings, which allowed the aircraft to reach speeds of up to 600 miles per hour, 965 kilometers/, faster than most contemporary fighters at the time. The concept of swept wings, inspired by the German engineers' research, dramatically reduced drag, allowing the B-47 to fly at higher speeds and achieve greater fuel efficiency. This innovative design also allowed the bomber to perform long-range bombing missions that were previously unattainable with older piston engine bombers. The swept-wing design was not only about speed, it was also about maneuverability. With its advanced aerodynamics, the B-47 could perform evasive maneuvers that would make it harder for enemy fighters to intercept. This feature was crucial during the early years of the Cold War, when the bomber's primary mission was to penetrate enemy defenses and deliver strategic nuclear payloads. The B-47 was powered by 6 General Electric J-47 turbojet engines, which provided the aircraft with exceptional speed and high-altitude performance. 4 of these engines were mounted in pods under the wings, while 2 additional engines were located on the fuselage. This unique engine configuration gave the B-47 the necessary thrust to reach speeds of up to 600 miles per hour, 965 kilometers/h, and maintain a long-range capability. These 6 engines allowed the B-47 to outrun enemy fighters and evade most anti-aircraft defenses, making it a formidable strategic weapon. The bomber's high speed also allowed it to conduct precision bombing runs, a vital aspect of the Cold War's nuclear deterrent strategy. However, the placement of the engines in pods under the wings also had its challenges. These engines were prone to failure during the aircraft's early operational years, which meant that frequent maintenance was required to keep the B-47 in flying condition. But the B-47's impressive performance, despite these issues, made it a significant asset to the U.S. Air Force. Unlike traditional aircraft with tricycle landing gear, the B-47 featured a unique bicycle-style landing gear with two main sets of wheels along the fuselage and small outriggers on the wingtips. This design reduced the aircraft's overall weight, improving its aerodynamic efficiency and contributing to its high-speed performance. While the bicycle landing gear was innovative, it also posed certain challenges, particularly when it came to landing and takeoff. The B-47 required extremely long runways for landing and takeoff, and the landing gear configuration made the aircraft more susceptible to instability on the ground. Pilots needed to be highly skilled to safely land the B-47, as even small miscalculations could result in catastrophic accidents. Despite these challenges, the B-47's design was revolutionary, paving the way for future bombers and other military aircraft that would adopt similar aerodynamic features and landing gear configurations. The cockpit of the B-47 was highly advanced for its time. The crew consisted of 4 members: the pilot, co-pilot, bombardier, and navigator. The cockpit was equipped with a sophisticated array of instruments and electronic systems that allowed the crew to perform their duties efficiently, even in the most challenging conditions. One of the most significant innovations in the B-47's cockpit was the use of automated systems to aid in navigation and targeting. The aircraft was equipped with advanced radar and electronic warfare systems, which were essential for penetration of enemy airspace and evasion of interceptors. These systems played a critical role during the early years of the Cold War, when the bomber's primary mission was to deliver nuclear payloads deep inside enemy territory. The B-47 was also one of the first aircraft to be equipped with a digital fire control system, which allowed for more accurate bombing runs and ensured that the bomber could deliver its payload with precision. This technology laid the groundwork for future advancements in avionics and electronic warfare systems in modern military aircraft. The B-47 Stratojet played a critical role in the early years of the Cold War as part of the United States' nuclear deterrence strategy. As the first operational jet-powered strategic bomber, it was the backbone of the U.S. Air Force's strategic bombing capabilities in the 1950s and early 1960s. The bomber was designed to carry nuclear bombs and penetrate Soviet air defenses to strike key military and industrial targets in the event of a conflict. The B-47 was also used in reconnaissance missions and served as a platform for testing new technologies in flight. Its long range and high speed made it ideal for gathering intelligence and conducting surveillance missions over enemy territory. The aircraft was stationed in key locations around the world, including in Europe and the Pacific, to provide a rapid response to potential threats from the Soviet Union. Despite its groundbreaking design and performance, the B-47 was not without its limitations. One of the main issues was its vulnerability to enemy interceptors. Although the bomber was fast, it was not invulnerable, and its long-range missions often brought it into contact with Soviet fighters. In response to this threat, the U.S. Air Force developed a strategy known as mutual assured destruction, which involved the B-47 being armed with nuclear bombs that could be launched in retaliation if the bomber was shot down. The B-47's design also proved to be somewhat problematic for operational use. Its landing gear configuration, while efficient for aerodynamics, made it difficult to land, and the aircraft required long runways for takeoff and landing. Additionally, the bomber was prone to mechanical failures, particularly with its engine pods, which required regular maintenance and repairs. Ultimately, the B-47 was replaced by the larger and more capable Boeing B-52 Stratofortress, which offered improved range, payload capacity, and survivability. However, the B-47 paved the way for the development of the B-52 and other future bombers, as its design innovations and operational experience provided invaluable lessons for the next generation of aircraft. The B-47 Stratojet may no longer be in service today, but its legacy endures. The innovations introduced by the B-47, such as the swept-wing design, jet propulsion, and advanced avionics, influenced not only military aviation, but also civilian aviation. Many of the concepts developed for the B-47 were later adopted in commercial airliners, including the Boeing 707, which became the first successful commercial jet airliner. The B-47 also set the standard for future strategic bombers, including the B-52 Stratofortress, which continues to serve as a key part of the U.S. Air Force's nuclear deterrent strategy today. The B-47's role in the Cold War and its contributions to the development of modern jet aircraft cemented its place in aviation history. Conclusion: the Boeing B-47 Stratojet was a revolutionary aircraft that changed the future of bombers and set the stage for modern military aviation. Its design and technology were groundbreaking, and its operational history during the Cold War made it an essential part of the United States strategic defense. While the B-47 is no longer in service, its legacy continues to influence the world of aviation, both military and civilian. It truly earned its title as the Mother Jet, paving the way for future aircraft that would define the skies for decades to come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the B-47 Stratojet, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on aviation history and military technology. See you in the next video.